everyone, welcome back to another video, and today is Monday, October the 14th of 2024, and today we're going to be talking about the adventure we had in Skagway, and that's coming up right after this. Hi everyone, welcome back to Traveling with Justin. I am Justin, and I thought I did an intro video in Skagway, but I didn't. I forgot to do that. I apologize for that. But let's go ahead and let's jump in to what we did as an adventure excursion in Skagway. All right, so we boarded this small little bus here from the cruise port, and we took it along through Skagway. We learned a little bit about Skagway, and we ended up here at the summit. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at Skagway.
In town, I'll drop you by that because it has restrooms. Sometimes that's the highlight of the museum, let's be honest. But there are loads of photos of this gold rush in that museum. There were 90-some journalists here covering this thing, and they all had cameras. If you look at old photos of town, it looks like this, really. We did a lot of the same buildings. 80 of these buildings are the original buildings, and we still have people on the boardwalk. Red Onion there was the fanciest of the 87 saloons and brothels in a town that's 4 blocks wide. So just barely enough saloons is what they had. Arctic Brotherhood here on the left, that was a hiking fraternity with time for decorating. That's still our news depot. We get our paper twice a month because that's all the news we have. Yeah, there were, like I said, 90-some journalists here with cameras, so we got a lot of photos of this place. And yeah, 80 of these buildings are the original buildings, so we just have less dresses and horses and mud. And murder. We've really dropped the ball on the murder thing. We're not that authentic. But they didn't even pave this town until the 80s. 1980s. Yeah, it looks a lot like Stampede photos. Loads of people on the boardwalk.
Alright, so you see that right there? That goes all the way down to the valley floor, and it starts at the top. And what happens is water from the glacier up there goes into that pipe, and it narrows towards the valley, and then that produces water pressure and electricity. And there's also a waterfall right there. Alright, and right over here you can see the train that people can go up and see some of Skagway's things and how the gold rushers would actually get there, but it was completed after the gold rush was over.
Yeah, very, very peaceful place to live. Just our grocery shopping and our recreation has an element of life or death to it. But there's no crime. Just avalanches and 80-mile-an-hour winds, earthquakes.
Alright, so I'm here at the US-Canadian border. So yeah, you can't cross into Canada because there's a $1,000 fine. Apparently they have cameras up there at this United States-Canadian border somewhere. Yeah. So the wife and I are enjoying Skagway. There's my wife. She just went to Canada. Hopefully don't get a $1,000 fine.
It was just my toe.
So how is the summit here in Skagway?
Refreshing.
Cold?
Refreshing.
Refreshing. So yeah, it looks like it's clearing up here. Not as foggy. Alright, so this road right here, this goes straight up into Canada. And this is where the locals will have to go to get their groceries and stuff like that. And you have to take your passport, of course, to go over there. And they used to go over there and watch movies all the time, but now the internet's pretty good up here. And then these reflectors up here, right there on the top, that is for during the wintertime. When you're driving up here and it's snowing, you can check these reflectors out, and your headlights will shine off of them so you know where the road's at. Because you would hate to make a wrong turn and up right there. All right, so once the summit was done, after we got back down, and we were given an option to be dropped off in town or back at the ship. We chose to get off on town to just look around and stuff like that, because we did something else in town, which I'll talk about tomorrow. But let's go ahead and let's just take a look at the little town and our walk back to the ship. So I am good. I mean, I love a good candy bar. But $3, I don't even pay $2 for a candy bar here at home. But yeah, in Alaska, it's just a little bit more expensive. Here are some of the little bit of some buildings and shops and stuff like that there in Alaska. So as you get off the cruise ships, the dock right there, the ferry, they have this little thing that talks about the gold rush and explains to you, you know, this is where the gold rush happened and things like that. And it was interesting. And right here are some street signs that you can look at, and it will point you in the right direction. Now, the railroad is a major part of Skagway. It was actually built for the Gold Rush, but it finished after the Gold Rush was over. And so here is a train, car, and a caboose. You don't see cabooses that often anymore. All right, and so this just tells you a little briefly about what Skagway is all about, the waters and stuff like that, and where Skagway is located at. And you'll see these in Skagway all over the place. It talks about different things that happened there in Skagway. Here is just another thing that will show you the way to go. So the ferry terminal, you can follow that to get to the ferry to go to the various islands out and about and around Skagway. So yeah, here's just another plot that explains stuff in Skagway. Here is another one that talks about the gold rush there in Skagway as well. And so right as you get off the docks and stuff like that, you have this welcome to Skagway, Alaska, and you can see it as you're walking into Skagway. Now, you have to remember what dock you're at. We were at the Ore dock this time, and so they have two different docks, so you just have to make sure you remember where you're at. So as we're walking back, you'll see that there's the Disney Wish and then the Quantum of the Seas. And yep, here is another thing for the Disney ship. And then we have the Quantum of the Seas right there. That's the 270 right there in the back. So yeah, we were in the Ore dock this time. And there was a rainbow as we were walking to the Quantum, because it has been raining most of the morning. And then also Princess is docked on the other side. That's where the rock slide happened last year. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video about the adventure in the Skagway and just a little bit of sights around town there in Skagway. And so if you did, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And also hit that subscribe button, because I've got more videos coming out, and that bell notification would really help me out. All right, guys. And until the next one, I will see you later. Bye.